I wrote something down that I wanted to talk about. Let me find it. You know, those moments when you hear something or see something or read something and you feel like, I have to remember that. That's what happened here. There it is. Embody mastery. You know, it's interesting because the more I learn about manifestation and really just getting from idea to reality, it's becoming more apparent that you sort of just have to embody the exact thing that you want to be, because I want to be really careful with my words on this channel because I just feel like you all deserve it. And we live in a society that is moving so quickly. Everyone's in a rush. Everyone doesn't have time for each other, yet we're bombarded by notifications and screen time and technology and now AI. And don't get me wrong, I think there's a time and a place, but right now, right here, we are going to be very intentional, and I promise to do that moving forward. But let's say you happen to be in a place where you aren't necessarily content or satisfied with your current life experience. I think a lot of us, a lot of Americans especially, we're raised to believe that there's always something bigger and better and shinier. And unfortunately, it creates a constant sense of discontentment or dissatisfaction. And it's interesting because I would consider myself a very driven person. And I think part of being driven almost assumes that you want more. You need more. You're capable of accomplishing more. And I think it's important to realize that if you want to manifest anything, literally anything, it's essential that you embody the version of you who is capable of attaining that thing or that reality. I'm reading a few books right now. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's the OG book on wealth and mindset and abundance, and I highly recommend it. Also, I've been working my way through this one, The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Very good book. Very good. It's I'm a history buff. I like to learn about history, and this one is interesting because it goes through different laws, such as never outshine the master, conceal your intentions, court attention at all costs, make other people come to you, use bait if necessary, and it tells stories of the past, and it dives into historical figures and how they used these laws in their lives to attain power or wealth or whatever it might be. Anyways, I have been trying to manifest a few things. I just realized this month, November 2025, that I successfully manifested something that I wrote in my journal about a year ago, and it was to get a remote job that pays close to 6 figures. And I just had my first day of my new remote job this past Monday. And I say that to say that manifestation is something that it's hard and it's easy at the same time. I have a love-hate relationship with manifestation because I think in order to manifest anything, you have to not only embody the version of you that will attract that thing, but also you have to be really consistent, and you have to persist no matter the obstacles. And that's one thing about manifestation that I think a lot of people maybe intentionally or unintentionally bypass or forget to emphasize. But look, no one will ever get rich quick. At least it can't be replicated. And I think that's what a lot of these people online try to sell you, is that if you would just buy my course, if you would just listen to my words, if you would just hire me as a consultant, then I will help you become rich within the hour. It's not possible. If we're talking about wealth, I want to share the experience of 2 people that I know very well. Actually 3 people, and funny enough, all of them happen to be uncles. I have one uncle who struggled with addiction, and he shared a text with me, which maybe I can dive into at a later date. But he shared this text with me that basically said he had gotten to a point where he felt like he needed something to do, something to give him purpose. And he was, at the time, I believe, a technician for pools. And so he started a company. And keep in mind, this is after struggling with addiction for many years. But he ended up growing this company to one of the most successful pool companies in a state here in the US. And it took him decades. It took him having to overcome addiction, and it took a lot of persistence. And the other 2 uncles that I mentioned, they were both working in the construction industry, and both of them were laid off during a meeting. And I was told this story by one of the uncles, and he told me that they looked at each other and said, okay, well, what are we gonna do? What's the plan? What's the move? And they decided to basically create a mastermind amongst the two of them. And one of them went and got a job working in the construction industry. Another one decided to uh, basically work for themselves and start to pursue some work opportunities. And they, over decades, built a very successful construction company. They focus on concrete foundations and a number of things now, but I believe they employ over 200 employees. And look, it took them getting laid off to be, I guess, pushed into action. And me, myself, I last year, January of this year, I was working with an agency and I was fully remote. The agency was based in Florida. I was based in California, and the agency decided that they wanted to convert to in-person. And so they gave me the option to visit Florida and basically see if that was something that I was willing to do. And it turned out to not be a good fit. And long story short, I had been planning a trip abroad, and I basically had to turn down the role and become unemployed during my trip abroad. And it was really tough because I was living off of savings. I was now in a foreign country where it's hard to make money, and it's hard to network in a place that you don't know and don't understand the inner workings of everything. And so I was unemployed for a while. I started to work for myself, and sort of like my uncles, I was pushed into action, and I founded a company and really just started to learn everything I could about digital marketing, growth marketing, using technology, building automated systems, and leveraging AI. And if you're watching this in 2025, right now it's November 29th, 8:30 in the morning, 2025. If you're watching this now, and if you have any interest in being at the forefront of a new era, I highly advise you to learn as much as you can about the internet, anything digital, and artificial intelligence. I know AI gets a bad rap because everyone and their mother has become an AI expert, AI specialist, blah, blah, blah. But look, it's sort of like, back to what I was saying about being really into history. I've been reading the history of industrialists during the steel era. Andrew Carnegie, Charles Schwab, Rockefeller. These guys were just like us, living in a new era, one that, unlike AI, it was all things steel. And this was before cities began to be made of buildings whose infrastructure relied on steel. And Before this, they were building networks of uh, train lines and just building this cross country train system that required steel. And so 2025, I think I think we've been going through this, but we've been warming up. You could say the pot has been warming up, and the kettle is now screaming, and it's screaming for anyone who's willing to learn about um, um, technology, AI, automation, software development. Um, right now, I'm recording this video off of my laptop. We a lot of things are going to change, and I'll get off my soapbox now. But if you want to be in if you want to be part of something exciting and something that I think will be stable for a long time, I think technology is the way. Well, I've been meaning to kick this off. I'm excited to build a community of, people like me, people who are curious, people who are driven, people who want to go beyond the material world and also understand this experience from a mental and spiritual perspective as well. I think that there's a lot of dimensions at play, and we're only hyper aware of a few of them. But I'm excited to explore and continue to talk about manifestation and most likely a lot of things that I'm involved with. And in case this is useful information, I'm a digital nomad. I work remotely. Marketing is primarily what I do, and like I said, I founded a company and I've been developing a product. But more information there later on once I'm ready to share. But I wish you all the best of luck, and remember the lesson. Remember what I said when we started this video. Embody mastery. If you want to be a master, you must embody it. Whatever it is that you want, embody it.